Welcome to Frickin' History, and today we're going to talk APUSH, we're going to talk Andrew Jackson, and we're going to talk about those ideas of how the government was supposed to work, because everybody during this time period had a little different thought of how that was going to go down. Now, there's always been debates. If you go back to the Federalist and the Anti-Federalist, which led into the Democratic Republicans of Thomas Jefferson, there was always debate about the type of government that they wanted as far as strength in the centralized power, or do they want it more as a smaller government where there was more local decisions. But as the Federalists kind of fizzled away after the War of 1812, that leads us into the Democratic Republicans, and they had a fraction. So it's basically a political party that had two sets of people with two different ideas of what they thought the federal government should be. On one side, you've got the Democrats, and they were led by Andrew Jackson. Now, at this point, they're only a faction. They're not the official political party yet. Now, on the other side, you had the National Republicans, and they were falling in line under Henry Clay. They fought over three things: the National Bank, federally funded improvements like Clay's American system, and they were disagreeing on the way tariffs were either imposed or how they were used. Now, Jackson, he hated the banks. He thought they were corrupt, and he thought that they were bad. They were giving too much power to the very, very wealthy. This endeared Jackson to the working man, the everyday man. Clay was more in favor of the stronger banking system. And eventually that led to a bill that got to President Jackson's desk, in which he vetoed it. Now, Jackson didn't like the tariffs because it really hurt more of the southern states, and Jackson, being from Tennessee, fell into that category. Now, Jackson, he opposed really high tariffs on certain items because when it hurt the working man, the regular everyday man, that's where he was against tariffs. But in other cases, he wasn't necessarily going to eliminate them. Like, for example, when the tariffs of abomination in 1828 got set in, the southern states like South Carolina did not like that, but he didn't remove those tariffs at that time. I'll talk about nullification later. But Henry Clay saw tariffs as a way to protect American businesses, and so he was more in favor of those because, again, his idea was internal improvements, helping connect all of the states together to increase the commerce, and therefore that really helped the northern states because that's where a lot of that infrastructure was going into place. Now, the role of the federal government is, should they be imposing these tariffs or not? Should they use the strength of the national government or not? These were just some of the causes of how people viewed the federal government. And until next time, peace.